Here to have suffered a bit of a casualty with Brad Clyde. He's very, very groggy.
Stumbled as he got to his feet, and he's in all sorts of trouble out there.
It's David Wesley. Second hit up on the first set for Wesley. Now the Broncos just outside their 40-metre line. Hancock coming in. Gooden Tallis. Got a pass away. It's gone down and behind.
Right there too.
Sailor it is that has to clean it up. Darren Lockyer. Lead away for Brad Thorne. Langer to the halfway line. Darren Smith combines with Lockyer. Renoff is there. And Brad Clyde looks like he's recovered fairly quickly. He couldn't be totally recovered, but there for a moment I thought we'd lost Brad Clyde. Penalty goes to Brisbane against Canberra.
And the Raiders need to set the standard in the opening minutes of this game already. They've missed a couple of tackles, given away a penalty towards the end of the tackle count. A less than auspicious start from the Canberra Raiders, and they've really got to muscle up in defence now. The Broncos on the attack, 15 out, early minutes.
Straight up the centre. Andrew G. Langer. Darren Smith able to unload. They keep it alive with Renoff. 5 metres from the line. Deep as Langer. Lockyer across. Walters on. Tallis. Good tackle by Ben Kennedy. Now wide again for Langer. Darren Smith already has put himself in the game out wide on several occasions. Now the last. Kevin Walters. Well, that'll be the turnover. He was on the ground, tackle. David Furr. Gary Belcher is working with us on the sidelines tonight. Gary, what happened to Brad Clyde?
Well, he momentarily saw stars, Ray, but he knows where he is. There he is taking the ball up now. He told the trainer that everything's fine. I guess he realises the importance of that they stay competitive early.
Work on the left, off the boot of Daly. Daly's kick will see Lockyer bring it back. The zero tackle. Canberra seeing Brisbane's territory for the first time. Apart from the fleeting moments a couple of minutes back. Darren Smith has handled the ball, I would imagine, a record number of times for a second rower in such a short space of time. 4 minutes gone. Looking for his amount of involvement. Lockyer. Carroll putting it down. Wilford the number 9. Burnham is 20. Wesley 14. Behind Furner, a second man play for Nagus in the headgear. Hetherington looking to unload. He does that. Ricky is there. Andruku partners him in the centres tonight. Now Burnham. Andruku, talking of him, puts on a sprint. That's O'Neill. Bit of sloppiness around the dummy half. They press on. Nagus. Brisbane come away. outside the 10. Smith dragging himself to his feet. As Tallis is put down.
The Raiders putting plenty of pressure on the Brisbane defence there. You can see it was raked out by Kevin Walters, and there was 2 in the tackle, so it could have been a penalty to the Green Machine. Enormous responsibility tonight for Jason Burnham and Simon Woolford. We said after the Canterbury game that Canberra were fairly predictable in attack with Laurie Daly always at first receiver. They must take some pressure off him.
Langer and Walters. Walters dropping it onto the right foot. It's an urgent run back there for young McNamara. Product of Country Rugby League. In fact, Jeff McNamara comes from Wagga, which has produced many a champion. David Furner. Clyde. And losing it, Furner's there, went behind him, went behind Clyde, that is. As Burnham continues to play a dummy half, Wesley, and a penalty against the Broncos. That's a high tackle.
Drop him down.
Lazarus and Smith, the 2 involved.
Everything in this Canberra side revolves around Daly. I can hear him on the ground, Mike. He's talking it up. He's telling players where to run, where he wants the ball to head. And he's been pretty heavily involved in everything they've done so far.
Andrew takes it 10 metres inside Brisbane's area. Hetherington. From Ross for Burnham at first receiver that time. So they're mixing it up. Wolford and Burnham. First man up, really. Now Clyde. Oh, he's heading for the ground under a shoulder. Tackler was Carroll. Now they're 10 out. 5 tackles gone. Chance for the Raiders. Daly switches it. Oh, they put it down.
Bill Harrigan's got a double knock on here. Jason Burnham looking at the defence before he caught the football. A little bit of a chance on the short side there. Pretty good numbers. Laurie Daly had read that.
Just took his eye off the ball, but he's been coming on as a sub for Canberra in recent weeks and playing very well. One of the few that has in this Raiders outfit.
Lazarus. Andrew G. Now Kevin Walters. And they put on some acceleration here. Renoff is 25 metres away from the Canberra line. Walters. Langer. To the air. Pressure for Canberra. He's put it down. Six more tackles for Brisbane. And Wendell Saylor looks to get it down. 4 points to 0. Try to Wendell Saylor.
So strong, Wendell
The
Saylor.
kick from Langer brought the mistake.
And that place weren't going to the big man. Excellent kick there from Alan Langer. Isolating one of the Canberra players, the winger. Then Tony Carroll picked up. He looked like he was going to force his way across. And they just didn't get back in time. They took a long time to come back, many of the Canberra players. Saylor carries Kennedy and Nagasaver, and then he grounds it, no doubt whatsoever.
They defended pretty well for the first 10 minutes of this match. Canberra, not a clean break against them. In the end, fairly soft defence around the try line. But he's a super player, this kid, Wendell Saylor. Loads of ability, determination and strength.
He's the outright leading try scorer now in Super League. Wendell Saylor sharing that honour as he came into this match. 40 career tries in first grade. And Darren Lockyer from about 13 metres in from touch. Struck it nicely. The flags are in the air. We'll take a break from ANZ. The home side's in front by 6. Brisbane restarting as we welcome you back to ANZ Stadium. Pretty hard to forecast a crowd for you, but as I said at the top of the telecast, I would imagine promoters will be disappointed, but it has, as has been the case in 1997, it's swollen considerably around kick-off time and in the early minutes of the game. Ferner now, taking it to the halfway line.
This is it, Mel, this is it.
No Ricky Stewart. As Wolford rolls it down, makes it simple for Lockyer.
Yep. Lost the ball as he went down, knock on.
Bill Harrigan saying he lost it as he went down, so scrum will pack. Come up on this shot. It probably got some help. It probably got some help over the top from the Canberra arm of Wolford. But you could hardly rule that as being stolen. He just failed to respect the possession. Ruben Wiki running off a Laurie Daly pass. Takes it inside the red zone. This is Kennedy. Very close to the line. Canberra with David Wesley. He's over! Well, David Wesley won't think so, but it was pretty soft in the final analysis. 6-4.
Made it into the top side, or the run-on side for Canberra, David Wesley. And DeVito onto the bench, and it's really just one-on-one here. Good strength, rushing through Tony Carroll. And that came from the Darren Lockyer mistake where he had the ball forced from him. 2 rucks later, just good strength from the big man, Wesley.
Yeah, well, Tony Carroll came up with a big hit a few minutes ago. On that occasion, not equal to that task, and he's a fine player, Wesley. Sometimes in this game, you just got to put your head down and go for it instead of looking to set up other people. David did that and gets rewarded with the try.
I also think, Paul, that close to the line, you've probably got to rush off your line a little bit more than they did. Then they were sliding 5 metres out. One, very, very difficult to stop Wesley, as we saw was the case with Wendell Saylor at the other end.
Well, are we starting to see a repeat of last year with 66 points scored in the clash, the corresponding game? Ferner, and it's a terrible kick.
Here it is coming through the hands. I'm not sure if they had an overlap. I think it was 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 out there, and it's just a bad missed tackle.
Canberra then sending it down to Gordon Tallis. And now Driscoll. 6 points to 4. Brad Thorne losing the footing. G. Tallis a second time. Langer, a purposeful kick. Nagus a little look over the shoulder. He had a mile of time. And Clyde has put it down again. Time in the match, Brad Clyde has dropped it. Darren Smith then Just inside the 30-metre line. Walters away for G. Ferner is there with Hetherington. Driscoll. Dummies to Lazarus. Lets the big man go. Langer switches it. Walters looks around on the inside. He picks up a runner. Darren Lockyer. Then Langer. Just outside the 10-metre line. Danger again for Canberra. Kevin Walters. Clyde hangs on with Wesley. 5 tackles gone. Langer puts the grubber kick in this time. And Nagus is there.
He has an amazing short kicking game, Alan Langer. Even though there were plenty of green jerseys there, still pressure. Somehow he's just able to find exactly the right weight to put pressure on the opponents. They had it well covered, Canberra. Slightest mistake, Darren Lockyer was there to swoop.
Daly's drop kick restarts. Big kick. 52 metres and Saylor goes slicing through. Eventually stepping out of the tackle by Ferner. Driscoll hesitated. He was thinking about a blindside play. Hancock for Walters. Walters for Thorne. 15 metres out from the Canberra line. Played by the big fella. Langer cuts out Lazarus. Goes behind him. Lockyer for Tallis. 7 out. Langer again. Walters. Darren Smith makes a mistake. Daly tries to hurt.
Well, Harrigan's found a penalty. Canberra players offside. They haven't realised.
On the line here.
Bill Harrigan played advantage. As soon as the drop ball came up and Laurie Daly picked up the bounce, the whistle went to the mouth and the arm went out.
Lazarus. Inclined to think the Broncos should score on this set. Tallis. Langer. Long pass. Lockyer. Players in motion. They're going everywhere. Walters able to get it away. Renoff is with it. They've got an overlap out there. The pass went forward. Good call, Bill Harrigan.
Yeah, try bomb there. Good Canberra defence too. They kept putting pressure on that Brisbane attacking and forcing a mistake. Look at them sliding all over the place out there. Good ball from Walters to keep it alive. Another one from Renoff. And just as he went to pass, he got hit by a strong tackle from Ruben Wiki.
A couple of changes made by Mel Meninga now. The defensive line's been under some pressure. A couple of tired troops out there. The V goes on, so too Pritis, as Ruben Wiki makes a good burst up the short side, makes the 20-metre line.
This is McNamara. And sound of the whistle. And he's found... Has he found a forward pass or a knock on? I'm not quite sure. Well, the ball is in the tackle, and Bill has been given a tip from the touch judge. So nothing going right in this passage of play for Canberra. Here's Wendell Saylor. Now Renoff. Harrigan's found a forward pass.
Nice scrum play there from the Broncos. Bit of angle changing. And they caught Canberra's defence out. Inside ball to Saylor. Bit slack on the inside from Daly. And that pass there, a touch forward, said Bill Harrigan.
It was a big effort there for Luke DeVico to come up with the tackle at the end, even though it wasn't needed. Tremendous work from the big man to be the last cover defender.
Ken Nagus. DeVico. Done well to get out from the scrum. Talking about DeVico, he did well to get out from the scrum. Second play from the front row. Here he is again. Not going far, but Brad Thorne make sure of the tackle. Burnham sweeping it for Daly. Then across. Kennedy. 40-metre line. Brisbane's end. 6-4. The Broncos probably should have led by a greater margin. They've had enough territory, enough possession. And now Daly taking it to the air. Plenty of time for the runners, but also plenty of time for Lockyer. There was no contest.
Well, a great piece of play there from Wendell Saylor, as he always struggles to make metres. Makes a good 5 or 6 there. He just came across in front of Lockyer and gave him a shield.
Just inside that red line. Andrew G, who would seem certain one of the front row spots in the Queensland Tri-Series side. Hancock now in and away. He's looking very trim, Michael Hancock. Langer punching it hard. It'll find the line. Very close to the corner post. 6-4. 22 gone. The Telstra Cup.
Alan Langer driving that one deep. The thing about the Brisbane players on the last tackle is that they're getting behind Alan Langer, so there's no chance of them getting offside, but also giving him the opportunity to run the football if he wants to. That time it wasn't needed. He found touch all the way down close to the opponent's line, and Peter Ryan into the action for the first time. He was very dangerous out wide on a couple of occasions.
Canberra with Ruben Wiki still inside their own 20-metre line. DeVico. Prentice is the 17. Ferner is with it now. Burnham. Clyde. Nagus. Almost to the halfway line. Burnham again. Daly. Kennedy's outside him. He cuts him out. Nandruku. 26 is O'Neill. Local junior. Then Daly. Grubbing it, hitting it hard, but it's found touch now. I thought for a moment it was going to obligate the Broncos to pick it up. 6-4 then. The Broncos in front of 3. Beautiful night in Brisbane. As the Broncos prepare to take it away from their own line. We welcome you back again. And it is Tony Carroll. Of course, north of the border is a good place to be tonight with the situation in the cricket. They're in a very happy mood. Brad Thorne. Langer. Hancock in from the left wing. Running into Burnham. Got to pass away. Langer then pushes it along. G. Catch and pass. Renoff. And he's 45 out from his own line. Thorne. That is the halfway line. 6-4. Saylor got the try for Brisbane. First points in the game. It was Wesley who struck back for Canberra. This is O'Neill on his own 10. Nandruku. Nagus. Running away from McNamara on the right, coming back down the centre. And a penalty.
Just got to let go. Hands straight away.
There's the call from Bill Harrigan. Make the tackle and then release him, roll away. And he's ruled there that Peter Ryan it was. Was it? Yes. He hung on too long in the tackle. I see some thought in Super League that maybe that latitude of holding down in the tackles is bringing about a lot of the mistakes. In other words, the game has got too quick It was an interesting story I was reading the other day. The speed of the game has brought about more errors, was probably the bottom line that the journalist was trying to make. Kennedy locking the scrum. Clyde up in the second row. 10 is DeVico. That's Prudis. Now Daly. Cuts out players, finds Burnham, then Clyde. Short ball, Mandruku. Now O'Neill. 30 metres away from the Broncos line. Clyde then. Angling possession back towards the centre. 19 metres away from the touchline. Daly looks for the kick back. High. Good kick by Daly. Canberra, I think, got a hand on it. It's a penalty.
It's going against the Canberra players for taking Darren Lockyer out. Should be very interesting, this one. There's Lockyer standing his ground. Oh, yes, no doubt. No one there did come in and interfere with Lockyer before he had a good play at the football.
The penalties. Favour of the home side. Glenn Lazarus. Dennis Scott is on in 25. Ryan. Lockyer. Fingering in the back line. Tallis. Ricochet effect. That's the turnover. Three-man Brisbane tackle required to put a halt to DeVico.
If the referee catches Darren Lockyer in his sights, he'll be off to the blood bin. Just cut on his right eye as Burnham throws a wide pass.
Ruben Wiki. Bill Harrigan's 10. He's really getting back 12 metres if and when he can. Mandruku. O'Neill. 30 metres out from the line. Daly again peppers them with the high ball. Lucky is under it. They take him back in goal.
It's a line drop.
That's a great take. No interference that time. Darren Lockyer played most of his career at half or 5'8". He's making a real good job of the fullback spot. Gets up off the ground. Beautiful stuff.
And the kick once again was perfect. Inch perfect from Laurie Daly, because when Lockyer caught the football, he was in the field of play. The chase from David Westley. The crunching tackle put him into the in-goal area.
Looking at the yellow shirts of the trainers, 6 of them out there. Providing they're not interfering in the defence line, they don't worry me at the speed this game is played today. Some people are bothered by. And here's Canberra inside the 20-metre line. Brad Clyde got away from Lazarus, and that's Hetherington. Hetherington's 11 metres out from the line. They surge on through DeVico. 3 metres between Canberra and the lead. Daly.
Knocked forward.
Ball is being propelled forward off Canberra and it breaks down. Daly has tried just about everything in his kit bag tonight. Thorne and G Come back to the centre. And here's Hancock. Brad Clyde. I think Brad is probably just lacking in a bit of timing. I'm loath to be critical of the big fella because he took that knock early in the game and he could be playing semi-concussed. But he's had a reasonably unhappy night. A couple of drop balls, a couple of missed tackles. Just not like Brad Clyde. Thorne on the halfway, right in the centre. And Rajiv. And now Langer. Walters is there, coming back up the centre, able to get it away. Canberra are going to have to be very careful. They're not locking the ball up. Walters, Langer. They link in on the outside of him. Puts a... Oh, he tried... Oh, they put a knock on together. Obligingly, Brisbane.
In Brisbane.
6 points to 4 at the 31st minute. Well, as we went to the break, we were talking about Brad Clyde, and now he comes off. But I am quite certain, had Darren Lockyer held that opportunity, Brisbane would have been over for a try. We come back on the scrum. Canberra made the first error. Brisbane's feed, loose head. Renoff calling Walters around him. Kevin didn't respond as quickly as Renoff would have liked. Now Tallis, he's on his way. Gordon Tallis scores.
And I'd mentioned that Gordon Tallis had been dangerous out wide early in this match. This time it's first pass, and he has run straight over, well, not enough over the top, but straight through Simon Wolford in one of the worst attempted tackles you will see in the top grade. He's a fine young player, Wolford, but he's got this one all wrong, and I haven't got it all wrong as the player. No, it's Wolford okay, and Gordon Tallis, he couldn't believe his luck.
And that's what Brisbane bought Gordon Tallis for, and he's the try for the club. Taken him a few games to hit his top form, but it looks like he's hitting top form tonight. Some very strong charges.
Now Ken Nagus, as he tried to tackle Gordon Tallis, has slammed that left knee into the upright. I'll just show you Ken Nagus and how he suffers that injury after Darren Lockyer converts. What a fine young player this man is turning out to be, Darren Lockyer. Now 12-4 the Broncos. Tallis on the charge. Nagus comes across desperately, and the left leg slams into the upright.
I wish you'd shut up even better. He comes in, down, you can see where he was headed.
I thought he said eyes left.
Lockyer's restart then.
And that's a double hurt for Ken Nagus. Not only the physical injury, but big defence there. But he also tried to do too much in picking up the Alan Langer kick through, which fortunately for him, Darren Lockyer knocked on that occasion, but it did give possession to the Broncos in their own 20, and 2 rucks later, they did put the try on.
Furner. McNamara. Out on the 40-metre line. 12-4. Wesley. Interesting replacement for Canberra in jumper 46. Gary Belcher.
Yeah, Barry Lee, the former Queensland Rugby Union player for the Reds, who in fact played his first game here today in reserve grade, about 3/4 of a game. He's playing at fullback. Of course, he played a lot of wing. I don't know how much fullback in rugby, but fullback tonight for the Raiders.
Tony Carroll. Ken Nagus has left the arena, and Lee in 46, Gary was talking about, is out there now. Tallis put down by Wolford time. It was a grasping tackle by the number 9 for Canberra. Probably stung by the fact that he missed him badly just a few moments ago. Nandruku's pass, marginal. Kennedy's gone into touch with it. Oh, that's bad play by Ben Kennedy.
How bad? Honestly, how bad was that? When you're down 12-4 and you get the ball back from some strong defence, look what happens. But he had no choice, Kennedy. He shouldn't have got the pass. I mean, Nandruku should have taken the tackle. Here's the incident with Nagas. Oh, there you go.
Jimmy Walters has realised that the fullback is nowhere to be found. There's a chance here for Brisbane. Michael Hancock has put too much weight on it.
He's only been out there a couple of minutes, but even for the 4 or 5 rucks before that, he was 40 and 50 metres behind his front defensive line. They were going to chip the football at some stage, but straight away, Alan Langer and Kevin Wallace have realised that this man wasn't even in the defensive line on that occasion from the scrum win, and he was very susceptible.
Now, apparently, Will Harrigan, his indication is that somebody was taken out, not in possession. I'm just wondering whether it was an infringement on Michael Hancock.
Can you hear me now, Nick?
It would seem that's the case. Thorne, 10 metres from the line. Langer, Lazarus, very close to the upright. Langer back on the left and then tries to come through the centre. G. Lazarus, Walters, Renoff. Two-man Canberra tackle, Nandruku and O'Neill. Walters, Tallis. And 3 Canberra players involved in the tackle. The stretch is on, wide to the left. Oh, short ball was forward from Langer. Solid hit on Ruben Wiki. That was Peter Ryan. He's one of the biggest hitters in the game, and he really peeled off a strong tackle on Wiki. Daly's pass. Again marginal. And he's rolled that back between the legs with no
Stand up.
striking with the foot.
If he's hanging on to you, I'll ping him for it.
Let's have a look if it is hanging on to him.
Well, Bill Harrigan has got him not for the foot, but in fact for not rising to his feet and playing the ball. Right on half-time, a chance for 2 more points then for the Broncos.
We were talking about this young man, Darren Lockyer, earlier, Ray. Now he's coming on in the game. I think he's got a tremendous future. I think he's the best young player going around. The goal kicking is just an added string to the bow. There's Laurie Daly questioning Bill Harrigan, obviously, about that decision. He's okay. He's got a smile on his face.
Likewise, absolutely.
And Laurie just making sure that it's going to be consistent and it will go both ways as the work continues on Ken Nagas. They'd love to have him back on the field at some stage in this match. They need his attacking ability. It's been lacking for the last couple of weeks with that injury.
Lockyer strikes it and keeps it relatively low. He had a long way to cover, but it's wide of the uprights. Half-time is with us. And the Broncos lead the Raiders 2 tries to 1. And 12 points to 4. We'll take a break. Come back with the second half of this Super League encounter from ANZ in just a moment. This is Nines Rugby League. 12-4 then.
fellas, wait, have a rest.
Tony Carroll taken from on the midi cab. Lazarus. He's lost it, but there's the sound of the whistle giving the penalty to Brisbane. They'll be able to mount a strong attack from here. Darren Lockyer can be expected to find the line about 25 metres out. Andrew G. "18 metres from the line. Lazarus has got Brad Thorne running off him. Thorne's able to get it away. And then Driscoll put down on the 10-metre line. Lazarus the dummy half. Langer. Thorne again. And again he gets it away. Langer then is taken to ground by Ferner. Walters. Tackler was Wolford. Driscoll. Langer. Knocked on there. It'll give Brisbane another 6 tackles.
Yeah, nice
O'Neill
option.
knocked it on.
Nice option there from Alan Langer. The Canberra defence has been coming up fast out wide just about all night. On this occasion, you could see they were covered, his own men. But another mistake from Canberra. There's been a couple of good offloads too by Brad Thorne the last six tackles. He's playing very well.
Oh, Lockyer. Smashed into the ground by Nandruku. Sailor, he scored 1 try tonight. You'd be inclined to think Brisbane will get it over the line on this set. Andrew G. Driscoll hesitates. Sailor winds up. Then it's Langer. Alfie puts it over the line. 16-4. 3rd try.
And we're used to seeing Wendell Sailor run into gaps like that, not create them. But what a super talent Wendell Sailor is. A little bit of a breakdown in communication there. I don't think he was really expecting it. And then very poor reading by the Canberra players. Barry Lee stayed out. He didn't read it at all. And the gap opened up for Alan Langer. He ran straight. It was a good angle to run.
Well, it's been their problem all season, Canberra, their defence. That's shocking defence on your own line, not reading it at all. You know, when they're coming at you, you've got to see who's in position to do what. And instead they're just looking straight ahead and doing nothing.
This is a very tough game for Barry Lee to be thrown in early on in his rugby league career.
I mean, someone had to read there, had to take the blinkers off, have a look and see that where Sailor was running, someone was going to run off his hip, and had to look for someone and see Langer coming, but no one did that.
Lockyer with another simple shot, and he converts the try. Scored by his captain, Alan Langer. 18-4. This is how the try looked from another camera. Wendell Sailor running across and linking up with the nimble-footed Alan Langer. What's the story on Tony Carroll, Gary Belcher, before we go any further?
He's actually injured his left ankle, Ray. It's swollen up. The doctor's having... I don't think there's much chance of him coming back. Darren Smith's gone into the centres, but Mick De Vere, who played very well in his debut last week against Perth, is ready to come on pretty soon to replace him.
18 missed tackles now alongside the Canberra Raiders. 18 missed tackles against 6.
But also, Ray, even in that try, there were no missed tackles as Laurie Daly tries to create something for Ruben Wiki. No missed tackles there, but very poor reading. So a combination of the two is just cruelling this Canberra side this season.
Clyde out wide. 35 metres away from the line. The Broncos score next. That'll be it. Penalty goes to Brisbane.
Number 5's offside.
Yeah, he's caught one of the Raiders offside. Nandruka it was. Yeah, just fractionally in front of the kicker, and that means he has to stay 10 metres away. And Harrigan turned and looked at his touch judge for a long time just to double check himself. Everything's mounting against Canberra. Penalties are now 7-2. Peter Ryan.
Tony Carroll off. Darren Smith has moved out into centre position, one he knows very well. So much competition for the back row. Peter Ryan will look forward to this opportunity as Harrigan has found another forward pass.
Here we are.
That didn't look forward at all, did it? Pass from Kevin Walters to Gordon Tallisfield to be forward. Seemed to be a simple catch and pass to a man running onto the football.
Oh, Bill's hair might have got in his eyes.
Burnham. Wesley. Got a try for Canberra. Early on, second of the night. As Wiki plays it, they keep coming down the blind side. That's McNamara. Hit hard by Ryan. He's peeled off a couple of big tackles tonight. Ferner. Wolford. Burnham. Daly. Now, Nandruka's onside this time. It's been one of the features of the game. Not that anybody has contested the jump with him, but Darren Lockyer, he's been put under quite a bit of pressure, and he has not wavered on any occasion.
Well, he's not a tall man, and I don't know whether Canberra thought that might go against him in the bomb department. If they did, they were sorely mistaken. I think it might be just more of a case of the fact that Canberra aren't busting their opponents and they're being forced into looking at the kick as one of their main attacking options. Very rare for the Raiders.
Langer. Kevin Walters. Gordon Tallis. And out comes the ball. This will be, I was going to say play on if Canberra come up with it. Tallis. I thought for a moment he'd lost the ball because his head had hit the ground heavily. But he seems to be okay. Lee is injured on the other side of the park for Canberra. Prittis goes back into the game. Wolford comes off.
Need the car, Chitty. Chitty, they need the car.
I think they're calling back for the ambulance for Barry Lee.
Chitty. Hey.
So there's another delay here with another injured player. 18-4, Brisbane at the 50th minute. Will break and come back in just a moment. And Barry Lee has had to be replaced. So the Broncos have lost one, and now Canberra have lost another. Now Todd Payton is going on in jumper number 19. One of 4 graduates from the Erindale College down there in Canberra who played reserve grade today. So the situation is worsening for Mal Meninga. Hetherington throwing self-preservation out the window. He was quite prepared to unload if somebody wanted it as Renouf drove him into the ground. This is Payton now. 40 metres out from the Brisbane line. Burnham, Daly, second man play, Clyde inside, Nandruku. And the Broncos, they've stiffened up in defence. Kennedy, spinning, Daly, getting a floater, tries to get a kick in, Lazarus, taken by Daly. Back on the Brisbane 30-metre line. 18-4. Walters, then Renoff. Puts the foot down for a couple of strides. Then Hancock running backwards, picking up Furner. Then Saylor. And they didn't really go anywhere. There was a lot of ball movement, but they went backwards eventually. Thorne. Nandruku's dropped back to fullback. Onto the right. Lazarus crosses the halfway line. Johnny Plath is on. Langer. Walters. G, a dummy. Then Ryan. Tap in defence by Hetherington. Good tackle. Head on, one-on-one. Langer again to the 40-metre line. Darren Smith playing out in the centres now. Saylor has been elusive. 32 metres out from the line. Langer's kick is high and wide. And well done, young McNamara. Well, this has become a case of Renoff is slow to his feet. I'm just looking over. They've got a full-blown ambulance now on the outskirts of the ground to take Barry Lee away. DeVico, Daly, Wiki, halfway line. Prittis, DeVico, and then Hetherington, Furner, Burnham to the 40-metre line, and that's what makes Glenn Lazarus so darn good. Big prop forward, covers ground to cover defence. Lockyer away from a would-be tackle, puts on the pace. Darren Smith is there to combine to the 40-metre line.
Great work there from Glenn Lazarus, as you point out, Ray. He also cleaned up a kick only moments earlier in behind the line. He can do it all. His cover is magnificent for a big man. Tremendous work once again from Darren Lockyer. I think he's been the best player on the field tonight.
Sloppiness at the play the ball. Platt wrestled down by Clyde, and over the top came Prittis. This is Scott. Came to the Broncos from Mackay brothers. That's a knock on by Alan Langer.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Well, it's been a stop-start affair. Lots of changes, mistakes and injuries. Taking away a bit of the glamour of what this match promised. Kennedy. Hetherington with a catch and pass, and Clyde 38 metres away from the opposition line. DeVico. Ooh, good strong hit, but he's able to get it off for Hetherington. They've centred play. Daly. And then Wiki. McNamara. 15 out for the line. Furner. DeVico. Daly. Burnham. Oh, the pass from Burnham to Kennedy looked to be a mile forward. Play's allowed to go on as Daly to kick in too deep. And they're coming back to the 20-metre line for the restarts.
Well, that's justice, really, because that pass was forward, no doubt about it. Brisbane now rucking it out from their own 20-metre line. But their defence has been very, very good, hasn't it, Brisbane? That's... Oh, he's offside, Kennedy, not just forward.
Should have been a penalty, really. Barry Lee. Gary, what's the problem with Barry?
Well, I've only got the trainer's report at this stage. The ambulance has just pulled up and the doctor's about to look at him, but the trainer says it looks major, either a break or a major ligament tear, so perhaps his rugby league career with the Raiders this season is going to be very short-lived.
Brisbane get their 9th penalty, or is that their 8th penalty? 8-2. Reserve grade tonight went to the Broncos as Darren Lockyer the touchline about 32 metres out. Yeah, reserve grade to the Broncos 38-6. Big win for a side that a couple of years ago really struggled. Langer, Walters, Tallis is coming up. Smith is with it. Saylor will come inside, then unloads. Lockyer knocks on. That's the only mistake he's made.
I suppose to look at that reserve grade score rating, you can just see how much Canberra are struggling this season for players as the play once again breaks down for the Broncos. I mean, they had some kids in there just straight out of high school in that Canberra reserve grade side tonight, and they got hammered, and it's through the whole club. I mean, they're missing 4 or 5 or probably even 6 of their top players.
Find the hole, halfback, get it in.
What a place to make a mistake. Canberra trying to regroup. They've got their line in order. Kevin Walters to play it. Lockyer, Langer. Smith will go over in the corner. Beautiful tackle. Nandruku saving a certain try. I don't know for how long. Held up in goal. Well, that's a magnificent piece of defence by Canberra.
Yes, and once again, Ray, you had him scoring the try. Great tackle from Nandruku. Can still stop a train. This time the train was Darren Smith. That's a beautiful tackle, isn't it? And they did pretty well to reform to stop Wendell Saylor going over from dummy half from the next play. They're going to have much success stopping this next set of 6 from the scrum win.
Down the blind side, losing the ball. Hetherington comes away for Canberra.
Well, you can't stop one, Rabs. You must have backed Encounter on the weekend, did you? As soon as you started cheering, it took a right-hand turn. Encounter.
I reckon Sterling was a double agent in his previous life. We don't need outside critics. They're all sitting here. Clyde.
Oh, we love you, Rabs.
Daly. Kennedy. Burnham. Oh, that's a shocking pass to give Daly. I would have thought it was a knock-on, but had the arm up. 5th tackle, play on. Saylor, look at this. Pulled down on the 30-metre line. No difference really in the rulings. Brisbane would have come up with it anyway. Langer in traffic. Walters. Renoff coming down the ground very quickly from an onside position, but Canberra with ball movement sees Nandruku running across to Ben Kennedy. He's lost it. Nandruku cleans it up.
Bring it back.
DeVico. This is Payton. Prittis. Good quick scamper out from dummy half. Burnham. Daly. Ferner on the inside. 8 metres out. DeVico's going to have a shot at it. Daly again, puts in a little kick, and just watched over the line by De Vere. Michael De Vere on in 80. Does this very well. We saw something like this from John Hopewati on Friday night down at Brookvale. Next Monday night, Super League back here at ANZ Stadium, and the Broncos will take on Cronulla next Monday, round 5 of Super League. Peter Ryan. It would have been some clash, and I'm not saying it won't be anything other than that, but that loss yesterday by Cronulla, I'm still, as most people are, trying to work out how they could get beaten by so far. But they did. Now they've got to regroup and come back here next Monday against the Broncos. Be a good game, that. Oh, the bounce has totally beaten Nandruku. It's been reined in there by O'Neill. It'll be interesting if it came off the hands of Nandruku. He would then have been offside.
He'd have been a mile offside, so Noah Nandruku got nowhere near the football. Not even close enough to get a touch, a faint touch, as Canberra go wide in their own 20. Ruben Wiki, who's been very well contained in the centres.
There's another problem out there for Brisbane. This time it's Renouf, who's down injured in back play. Grimacing with pain. It's a knee injury for Steve Renouf.
And the second time he's been down in this half.
Burnham around the back for Furner. I'm just trying to assemble my thoughts as to who is in fact missing from the Canberra side when you compare it with last year. The personnel, the big names missing this year: Stewart, Mullins, Croker.
You've got David Boyle. Pongi is out at the moment. Lomax isn't there. Steve Walters isn't there.
There's about another 3 or 4, so we're looking at about 7 regulars from last year's team. Well, you can't include Stewart in that, really. Andrew G. 20 metres away from his own line, Plath and Langer. Then Lockyer. Now Hancock. Hancock! Plath underneath that tackle from Furner. Lazarus almost to the halfway line. Langer, his pass out in front. No knock-ons there. Hancock puts in a kick, and Nandruku is put away on the 40-metre line. Clyde. Burnham. Daly. Furner. Seldom have I watched a game of rugby league involving David Furner that he hasn't made at least one break. Hancock running towards Sailor's wing. 42 metres out. Langer with a dart out from dummy half. Pulled in by Burnham. Got himself a try earlier. Langer on the open side. Walters on his right hand. Brisbane looking dangerous. Tallis got a pass out magnificently, and then a step off the right foot, then off the left, and Michael Hancock, he gets the try. But Gordon Tallis He has unloaded a gem of a pass.
A tremendous offload there from Gordon Tallis. He had to because it was the last. He wasn't going to kick the football. He takes them on, tracks two defenders, gets it to Lockyer, and straight away there's problems out wide, and Michael Hancock, the big step. DeVico wants no part of it. Wesley comes across. It's just very, very simple stuff for the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm glad Michael Hancock gets a try. He's had a great game tonight, both defensively and in the attacking side of it. A couple of Canberra players in, no effort whatsoever to get on that defensive line.
A couple of times in the last 5 minutes of play, Michael Hancock has looked dangerous down that right flank. I thought twice in as many minutes he was going to link up with Wendell Saylor, only to step inside and run into the defence. Eventually, he's reaped the reward of a try.
Looks to be a leaner Michael Hancock this year too.
Yeah, I said that earlier. He looks trimmer to me than I've seen him in a good number of years. 24-4, 67th minute, and this is a pass worth watching again. Gordon Tallis.
And really, Ben Kennedy had to go high on Gordon Tallis and stop the football. His first priority had to be wrapped up so that Tallis couldn't offload. Wasn't able to do that. And that's been a problem for Canberra tonight. Too many offloads from Brisbane. Once they get that flowing ad-lib football going, they'll beat anybody. Oh, no. And it goes from bad to worse. Through the hands of Laurie Daly, through the legs. I'm sure if it was Wesley, another Canberra player, Daly can't take the kick off. Yes, through the legs of Wesley, over the dead ball line.
Incidentally, I was telling you, the Brisbane play Cronulla here in the match of the round next Monday night. And while that's happening, Canberra next weekend play Hunter, the Mariners, at Bruce Stadium on Sunday afternoon. One gets the feeling with about 11 minutes to go that the scoring is not over here. As we go on the right of the ground for Langer, he's got Lockyer coming up behind him. And, well, Burnham did exactly what you've got to do with Alan Langer. You can't stand back and watch him. Tallis putting his hand up again. Those eyes of his. Looking for players coming around him. Relishes his football. Gordon Tallis last year must have been heartbreaking for him. Sitting, watching it. 40 is McNamara. 25 out from his own line. That's O'Neill. It's almost incredible what's happened to Canberra. We've listed those players that either have left the club or are injured. But all of a sudden, you find yourself calling and wrestling with names that are just out of the nursery of rugby league. 3 premierships in a very short space of time, and now they're on the end of their 4th straight loss. How long is it since they lost 4 in a row?
1985, Ray.
85?
And you have a look, the 4 losses they've had this year, they've all been big losses. Like at the moment, they've had 120 points scored against them in 4 matches. Like, that's 30 a game, and that's just about what it has been in each encounter.
It's just unbelievable. Mick Hancock, supported by Kevin Walters. 26,000 here tonight. That crowd, a good portion of it came in very late again. 26,103. Again, some great entertainment was provided, but to a reasonably small crowd at the time. And the promoters would have been disappointed with that. McNamara is nearly on the halfway line as he plays it back to Wolford. Burnham, cut-out pass for the captain, Reuben Wiki. Furner. Can't remember a line break. Just looking at Reuben Wiki and David Furner. Daly's tried to put them on their way a number of times. I can't remember them getting into space.
I think we'll see a pronounced move in the betting market. Brisbane firming, especially following the big loss to Cronulla. Brisbane, they just look the consummate professionals, don't they? It's still a transition period for the Broncos as well, with the likes of Lockyer, young Tony Carroll coming through, John Driscoll, Dennis Scott. They've just got so much class out there, and announced favourites even more so after this weekend.
They haven't grasped it yet. Nandruku got a hand on it, but it's been called back. Ball was propelled forward prior to all of this.
Bill Harrigan saying that it came off Darren Lockyer, so the first knock-on was from the Brisbane side. Canberra will get the football.
It's 7 minutes out from the final hooter. Hetherington, Wolford, he's lost it. Brisbane have got it in via Peter Ryan. Hit hard by Hetherington. Oh, Scott's gone without it, took his eyes off the ball. Scrum on the 30-metre line, Canberra's end. (24-4).
Let him get his head in, break it off screen. All heads down, drop head down. Up. All heads down, put your head down, yep. Nope. Let him get the hole there, Props, get that inside, push back.
And Ruku, just outside the 30-metre line now. David Furner. Daly. Wesley.
Whoa.
Now, Bill Harrigan.
Way too high.
Let's go to him.
Up and down, but way too high. Yep. Go, go, go.
Trudis. Payton. Canberra 12 metres out, centre of the park. Wide for Daly. Ben Kennedy. Kennedy gets it over. 24-8 with the kick to come. 75 gone.
Last year's Rookie of the Year, Ben Kennedy, hasn't had a lot of match time this year. He'll get better, and he's gone straight over the top of Kevin Walters. Darren Lockyer couldn't stop him from that close to the line. Pretty soft try at the end to finish things off. That'll be the only concern for Wayne Bennett, is that the 2 tries they've conceded are pretty simple ones.
Yeah, Bennett's shown glimpses of his best form tonight. By his own admission, he said he's been a couple of runs short, and it'll take him a few runs to get to his top, and probably by next week he'll be at his top. Very, very good player.
The build-up to the Ben Kennedy try. No joy for David Ferner in the conversion department. Saylor comes back 12 metres away from his own line. There's some rumours circulating the ground tonight in the, I suppose, the rumour mill about pay TV, about the big players coming together. It's an unconfirmed report, but we could be reading more about a major announcement to do with the pay TV arteries in the next couple of days. Strong rumours here tonight. As Lockyer turns it back inside to a Canberra player in the shape of Ben Kennedy. Clyde.
They're just undoing the good work here, Lockyer. May have got a call from Kennedy.
Danny in the dying seconds of the game, about 1 3/4 minutes in fact to go. Danny. Lockyer and De Vere, that is De Vere in 18. Solid hit over the top. Clyde was underneath. There's nothing of Lockyer. He's almost spindly. He's taken a pummeling tonight, but he's turned the other cheek. Wiki got a shot on Scott, but the Bronco was able to come back. Now Canberra with, I would suspect, their last use of the football. David Ferner. Nandruku finds an opening. Inside ball. Put down by Kennedy.
Great tackle on Ben Kennedy by Michael Hancock. Try saver. Saylor now goes wide through to Renoff.
What about this for a tackle? Had to score. In fact, might be me. It's Peter Ryan. How good was that tackle?
Full time. The ball finishing up in the hands of Darren Lockyer. Rather appropriately. If he's not the man of the match, he'll be very close to it. 24-8. The Broncos over the Raiders in front of 26,000 at Brisbane's ANZ Stadium. Full 24-8. Take a break and be back at the ANZ in just a moment. Gary Belcher will have the man of the match. $1,000 coming his way, and we'll announce that for you together with Peter and Paul and their summation of the game on the other side of this. This is Channel 9's Rugby League. We're back in just a moment.